name is Brian Marcus. I'm known for my professional wedding photography and portrait work in New York City for my studio, Fred Marcus Photography. I'm the third generation of the business and work really closely with my father, Andy Marcus. We have about 5 other photographers also that help us do the events, and in total we do about 300 weddings a year. I myself do about 50. Today we're at the Rivington Hotel in New York City shooting for PocketWizard, and we're using the TT1, TT5 and AC3 units. And really excited about the shoot because the location that we're in has a little bit of obstacles, and the obstacles are the incredible amount of sunlight that's going to be beaming through the windows we're going to have to control. And I think it's going to really show the capability of all the units kind of syncing and working beautifully in sync together to really achieve what we are setting out to do, which is to get a bunch of really beautiful bridal images. So for this first shot, we had Ashley kind of kneeling down. We laid the dress out beautifully. We had a perfect background, but the light was coming in pretty heavy. So the ability to go to a high shutter speed, we went to 3200th of a second and shot it at f5.0. And what that did was it just brought that sunlight down just enough to balance with the exposure in the foreground, and got a little blue out of the sky. And I think the image came out great. We used a main light, a fill light, and a hair light. So the shot on the stairs, the close-up, the key was to separate the foreground from the background. And by using a little hair light, we tend to do that all the time. And it accentuates that, and it gives the image a real three-dimensional vibe to it. And so we used a main light and a hair light. Typically the hair light is 1 or 2 stops stronger than your main light. And I think you see in the images the separation really comes out when the hair light gets pumped up just a bit. So on the second shot on the stairs, it was really cool. We used 3 different flash units. So what we did was we set the main light to camera A and to flash unit A and set it to about an f8. And I did that just by setting the AC3, the zone A unit. And on zone B was the hair light, and we turned that up by 2 stops. And the fill light, we just took it down about 1 stop. And I did that seamlessly through the camera position, really without creating much drama in between myself and the subject, and Ashley, the model, really had no idea what was going on. And the speed at which you change that is key. So when you're shooting a bride and doing a portrait session, you want to be as fluid and as natural as possible. And I think by in the camera position, being able to control all 3 units on my own really makes that happen. With the shot on the floor, I really decided to do a lot of everything. And again, the AC3 unit, by setting the lights myself, allows me to do wide shots, to do real close-ups without moving much equipment around. And it's all about being fluid and kind of cool and kind of maintaining that connection between the subject and the photographer. And the units are so small and so unobtrusive that I think we were able to do so many shots within one set without really moving a lot of stuff around or really kind of the equipment getting in the way. The final shot we did was a shot with the veil blowing in the background, and that's something that I like to do. I mean, I really take the kind of the details of the dress and kind of factor that into a shot. So we had the perfect situation. I used a main light and kind of used it as turned her to get her profile, and I called it my Beyonce shot and had her stand real strong. And with a little bit of a fan and a little help from my assistant, we got the veil really moving beautifully. And we used 3 lights. We used 1 light from the top for a hair light, 1 main light which is lighting her face, and then a little kicker light to get a little bit more detail in the veil. And by the AC3 unit, we controlled the lights to kind of really pinpoint the exact exposure and bring out the detail in the picture. And I think we achieved it.